Hey everybody, this is David Skarica, stock chart of the day for the New Year's, January 1st, 2025. Hope you all had a good New Year's. Um, so I'm not a big New Year's fan. It's probably my least favorite holiday. It just I don't know. I think it's people forcing themselves to have fun. So I usually just stay home and always, I'm a big football fan, so New Year's always coincides with football. And that's part of the reason I kind of like to get up early and I don't want to be hungover or something because I want to watch the football games on January 1st. And actually, I'm doing this around 9:30 and a half an hour leads. My team in England, which I've talked about in past, is playing. So we're gonna do I'm gonna have a more detailed outlook of markets for this year on tomorrow or Friday on the second or third. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to have this special offer on my Patreon starting on this, I guess it'd be the 6th, which is I guess Monday. So watch out for that. Basically, I charge $7 a month for the basic Patreon. I'm going to cut it for 5 because I was also going to do a special deal from when book comes out in March. So that won't be like something that's gonna be open for a while. First of all, Patreon doesn't allow only allows you to change the price once every 30 days anyhow, but I would say that could be probably the first half of the year because I want that special price, special offer as an offer till the end of June, right? So anyhow, we'll keep that open and like fuck, it's $5 a month. Come on. It's not even 20 cents a day. It's one trip to Starbucks and just for a coffee, with prices the way they are now, or one trips to Dunkin' Donuts or if you're Canadian, Tim Hortons a month. Save that one coffee trip a month, and you'll get a lot of this information that I'm doing for free. So I did a members update a few days ago, and I noticed it was on that the inverted yield curve going positive. And what I noticed was, yeah, the hits on that were very, very good. And I'm just trying to tell people is, obviously people like these videos, they find them informative. And again, $5 a month helps sponsor the channel. That's it. There's enough of the asking or the whatnot, marketing. I'm not a big into that stuff. So and by the way, for those of you who are on the $7 a month Patreon, when I hit it down to 5, you will be locked in at $5. And when I put it back to 7, anyone who does the 5 will be locked in at the 5, right? So anyhow, so this is an interesting stock chart of the day. We're not going to take too long today. So this is the market cap of the largest stocks relative to 70 percentile, so weight of the top 10 stocks, right? So this basically shows you like the top 10 stocks in the S&P 500 as a percent of the total index. Because of course the S&P is a market weighted index. And it shows you that these past bubbles, like right before COVID, it was high. Right before the 2022 bear market, it was high. Dot-com bubble, that's 1974 or 73 with the Nifty 50. That was basically the top of the 60s bull market, the go-go's, as they call it. And then, of course, the Great Depression. Well, we're back now, actually even higher than we were in the Great Depression. So could we go a little lot higher? Sure. These bull markets in the last 15 years and really the last 40 years since 1982 has defied all logic. So yeah, we could go. Could this go to 40% and see a real blow off? Yeah, sure. But it just shows you the thing. And look at this talks about here in the 60s, AT&T, GM, and IBM dominated. Well, look at AT&T, GM, and IBM were the Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla of the time, right? So that's what always happens. People forget that IBM was the most innovative company in the world for a time. AT&T was telecom. That's kind of again the companies that make our cell phones now, like the Apple or Samsung. And GM was the dominant automaker. So that's kind of like the dominant EV maker is Tesla. So it's like these things always repeat themselves. And during the dot-com bubble, it was like Microsoft, Amazon, Yahoo on the internet side, and then like Lucent and WorldCom and companies like that on the telecom side. So anyhow, and of course in the Great Depression, it was companies like RCA, Ford, things of that nature, which dominated, and some railways because there was no air travel back then, so railways were a huge industry and business and steel companies, stuff like that. So anyhow, we can see this is happening. And again, this is like I don't want to act like I'm crying wolf. I don't want to act like I'm a perma bear, but when you see this kind of extremes in these indicators, you know that something is afoot and something is probably going to go wrong at some point. And like I said, like even though fundamentally from I guess you could say from my own political views, yeah, I'm happy that Trump won. I'm happy the Republicans had the sweep. I want a smaller, more libertarian government. I hope they can do something with the Doge thing, but also, you can see what's already going to have problems with the debt crisis, and they only with all the appointments, they only have a one person majority in this in the Congress right now. So and of course it's also like only a couple in the Senate. So it's going to be hard to pass these spending cuts. It's going to be hard to get these things done, and it's estimated too that the Trump tax cuts are going to cost 900 billion a year. Well, the deficit is already 2 trillion. Even if Doge can find a trillion in sales, or sorry, in savings, well, then you're still starting from where we're getting back. Now you could say that 900 billion tax cut is going to be stimulative and all this sort of thing and create more revenues, but the problem is right now the U.S. government makes about 5 trillion in revenue, so you're going to cut that to say 4 trillion. Let's just use round numbers. Well, then you're going to really stimulate to get those revenues up 25% sorry, back to 5 trillion. So, that's the issue. My opinion is you need to simplify the tax code, probably pay about the same amount of tax while you're doing these cuts, and then you can cut taxes after you cut the deficit. My opinion, that's the more proper route. And by the way, that's what Milei is doing in Argentina. He's done his massive cuts. Now they're going to cut it down to like only 6 main federal taxes in Argentina instead of like, hundreds of them or whatever, right? And surf fees or whatever. And then he'll probably really start cutting taxes in a few years, right? So anyhow, I just wanted to show you this, though, that we're not talking about that. So just the weight of the top 10 stocks of the S&P are like near all-time highs. And look, this is where you have to ignore your emotions. I don't know if I guess I know, I think most of my subscribers tend to be more, Republican slash, conservative slash libertarian based, but you have to ignore that, and you just have to look at like the statistics and look at facts and that sort of thing. So you can see the facts here is we're at the highest level here since the Great Depression, and we all know what happened to the market here. And it's always you always have to take these statistics with a grain of salt because if you would have said, when the market got up to the .com level, which was, it did in 2020, 2021, and then again in early in 2024, late in 2023, you would have missed the last year. So it's not perfect, but I think when you're getting to the 99th percentile, like the most extreme valuations, it's really time to just set up and take notice. So anyhow, I'm gonna zoom out. So everybody have a great New Year's. We'll have a more detail. Oh, so also that video I did on, the market cap to so sorry, the inverted Euro curve, and I talked about some trades that will be locked in private by Friday. This is just a basic video. So the video I put out either or by Sunday, sorry. The video I put out on either Thursday or Friday, which is kind of again it's gonna be a sample of a members version that will also be locked by this weekend. And if you like them, like I said, like I see the views on these, get up to 300-400. So obviously people like them, and it'd be great if you could join the service. Like I said, it's only $5 a month. And then I'm going to have a more detailed service that I'll do through Substack, probably starting in February or March, when you get closer to the publication date of my book for $27 a month. I'm being a bit superstitious there because my lucky number is 27 because I was born on September 27th. So everybody take care. Bye.